Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 71 of my Gateway Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. I call the Gateway Experience a scientific, repeatable process of self mastery. At first, self discovery, and then ultimately self mastery, self exploration, and exploring the universe. So it consists of 6 waves with 6 tapes in each wave. I am currently on the second wave and the third tape called 1 Month Patterning. Today was the 8th day doing this tape. And so if you haven't seen any of my other videos, go ahead and check those out. That way you can get caught up to speed and you can see where we started and where we are now. So let's jump straight into it. It is 11 is November. So November 3rd, 2022. It is a Thursday today and it is 9:22 a.m. Woke up this morning at 7:47 a.m. Looked at my clock because my kids jumped out of bed. I really woke up earlier than that, but I stayed in bed to make sure that I could process everything in my mind, and I had this one dream that I don't even think is worth talking about. It was really weird. But anyway, when I woke up, did my morning routine, did my 1 month patterning for the 8th time, and the main thing that I could see, first of all, it wasn't easy. Similar to yesterday's video, and also similar to the video before that, it's all about patterning is all about repetition. Okay, and the more you do something, the better you get at it, the easier it becomes, the more your synapses wire, and so on and so forth. So just like with anything else, it's just like with any other skill, with any other tool, the more you use it, the better you get at using it, and you know how that goes. So it was tough because I guess maybe the shift, I think it's the relationships. That's really what it's mostly about. And thinking about some of the people that I got a chance to see when I went to Tampa recently. And those relationships, they're not the most ideal relationships. To be honest, they're conflict oriented and just at a root base, they are based in conflict. It's sad to say, but it's almost like part of my culture. I'm Hispanic, and we have a very dramatic, conflicted culture, and we would be much more wealthy and successful if it wasn't that way. For example, if people, when we're talking with each other, if we didn't cut each other off as we're talking, if we just let each other complete a thought and then pick up from there, and anything that we thought about while they were talking, we could incorporate into the response. And that's just regular human, higher conscious human interaction, in my opinion. Anything else is like a debate. Anything else is like cutting each other off. Anything else is wild manipulation, to be honest, because you're basically turning each other's brains off as like your train of thought is starting to kind of come online as you're talking, then they just cut each other off. It's like, dude, no, 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 no. And I've talked about what happens when somebody cuts you off in traffic. It's like the immediate response is like just frustration. So it's important to be at that higher level. And I was, for the most part, I did my best to not instigate things. If things got out of, like I was telling my wife, you know, it's like when I'm there, I'm like expecting a fight everywhere I look, you know, and to the only way to fix that is just to be at a higher state of consciousness where I don't even engage. I just focus on what I'm doing, my purpose, and move on forward every single day. That's what I'm doing now, but there are still a little bit of those ripples that affect me while I'm looking to pattern myself positively instead of thinking about all this, to be honest, quite honest, garbage, useless distractions, absolutely 100% useless. We should never be thinking about tearing each other down. We should always be thinking about building each other up, seeing ways that we can work with each other. And we should always be in a creative state of mind, not in a survival, sympathetic nervous system looking for somebody, to not harm you in any way. Instead, it should be parasympathetic, where we are creative, long term thinking, patient, all these things. So, but yeah, the repetition is what it's all about. Today's the 8th time doing this tape. And I like the way we started this off with the introduction to it. And that's pretty much the gist of it. The best way to explain it is that. And anything else is just something that you have to discover for yourself and do for yourself. So for this video, I just want to encourage everybody that's watching these videos, like, hey, look, can you do it for yourself? I'm just going to ask you, can you do it? Or have you done it? What have you done? As far as keeping yourself guided, are you just so unable to do that you're just leaving that up to somebody else? You're giving away all your power, like most people in this life that we live in. They just give it all away to a manager. I need you to manage me because I don't know how to manage myself. What's going on with that? What's up with that, guys? I think that's what most people are doing. And I've done that in the past. That's why I know. And some people are the manager. Some people are like, hey, I can manage myself and I can manage other people. Well, hey, look, I think even that person is potentially part of the problem, because it should never be about managing. It should be about leading. It should be about, hey, how can I empower you to manage yourself? How can I empower you to become a leader? It should always be that way. And ultimately, at the highest levels of any organization, that is what the real good people do. The thing is, people don't want to take ownership. People don't want to take responsibility. And this has been a little bit of a rant. Doesn't really have that much to do with the practice that we're partaking here. But I need to get that off my chest because it is 100% the truth. And the way to empower people is through the Monroe Institute's Gateway experience. It's one of the best ways that I've found so far in my life. It's a scientific, repeatable process, the way I like to call it, of that self-mastery, self-management, self-guidance. Okay? Bob Monroe, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but when ultimately we realize that the one is the all and the all is one, we can understand that a great guide like Bob Monroe, and we can tell that his intention is to empower us, is basically like us empowering ourselves. So that's what I've got to say about that. Looking forward to doing these a couple more days, and I've shared with you guys what those patterns that I'm looking to accomplish and to inhabit on a daily basis. I'm continuously reminding myself, continuously coming back to it. I think a lot of people might do this once a week or something like that. Maybe on a Sunday they go and they have somebody just tell them what they need to do, tell them what they need to think, tell them how they're doing things wrong and whatever. And they never come home and actually do it themselves. So I want to challenge you, no longer asking, I'm challenging. Hey, do you do it for yourself? What are you doing for yourself? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.